Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the new night point of view review. In front of us is finally the new Lynk&Co. Now this was available in Western Europe as a subscription car. This is a Chinese brand and it was 500 euros monthly lease. In Croatia here and in Balkans it is available, so you can purchase it, no subscription. Costs 50k here in Croatia. Actually it's launched, so it's 2k discount. Now you can choose only the blue color or the black color, and we only have the plug-in hybrid. Unfortunately there is no pure petrol. I think Croatians would love this, but the importer is selling Volvo as well, so this would be a bit of too much competition perhaps. Now let's unlock the car. So this plug-in hybrid is powered by 1.5 liter TD. It's a 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine producing 180 horsepower and electric motor also 80 horsepower, so combined 260 horsepower. You saw the lights flashing when you unlock it, increasing brightness as decrease. Beautiful looking front end. Let's check the profile. Beautiful profile. We're sitting on 20-inch alloys. These are big, but the suspension is nice and comfy. Now let's press once again the unlock, so you can see the LED taillights. You can see the front is flashing, so they increase in brightness when you lock. It's decrease and reverse. We hold to unlock the cargo space. This is probably one of the best illuminated SUV cargo spaces. I think even on the GoPro you can see, which is not the best camera, but it serves this purpose of filming at night because it's compact. I might consider getting a new one after the summer. So let's close this up. Now let's open up. So just to get settled, seatbelt on, safety first, close, and well, you can see here when the computer is booting you get this little animation. The device is starting. Now I'll just press here and turn on the car. Now you saw maybe the blind spot test lights. Okay, let me just turn on here for a moment the lights. You can see a very beautiful interior. You can customize the ambient lights, so let me just quickly show you that one. See, the car turns on the navigation and it just decides to remove it for some reason. That's odd. That's the one thing I haven't figured out. And let me just see here if I go to driving mode, because there's no power flow at the moment, or the energy flow. Okay, it's offering pure hybrid and power, but a moment ago it offered like eco and comfort, which was really weird because I never saw it before. I went out of the car, lock it, unlock it, and then it came back to the original things we had on from the start. Okay, I wanted to show you the ambient lights a little bit. So settings, we go to the interior lights and colors. So just to show you here, for example, red. So let me just switch this one off. So it's even available on the back, so they haven't saved, they went all in. But I'm gonna put this purple. You can of course customize any color you want. Okay, now we're gonna test some music and then we're gonna go. Actually, let me just change the radio station here. Now, let's see. Okay, I can't play for too long, just a little bit into something else. Press here to mute. Great sound system. I believe it was Infinity. The bass is great, the depth of the sound is great, so love it. You have here Spotify. If you have the account, you can log in and you can use all of that. Now here navigation is gone, so when you tap here you can go to full screen, and then sometimes it offers here navigation in the display, but on its own it decides. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And Apple CarPlay is, oh, it got disconnected, but we're gonna use the original navigation. And let me just see here. Okay, temperatures, I guess, fine. Over here you can see if I move warm or cold. You can press here, you can see that, or you can just press on the fan here to bring the like a classical menu there. Okay, let's put reverse for a moment. So you can't go to reverse from park. You have to go to neutral and then reverse, so you'll have to get a habit of pushing it twice. You can see the cameras are excellent resolution. Okay, now let's start driving. Yeah, the mirrors will dip down when you go to reverse. Also, turning maneuver when you need to do U-turn is great. Now the car, since it's a plug-in hybrid, needs to have pedestrian warning, so you can hear some sort of sound. Okay. Now I've charged the car to 100% a few days ago, and the max range was 78 on the trip computer. When I top up the car, range of petrol was 460. So the fuel tank is something around 40 liters, 45 maybe. It's smaller because you have a battery. Now let me just see something here. Energy flow. Yeah, energy flow was available here. I'm not sure if I by accident perhaps deleted that, because that would be really a shame, because we had a big picture of the energy flow and I wanted to show that. But okay, auto hold is engaged. Car status here, let me see here. Okay, tire pressure, consumption, energy flow, there we go. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how it looks when the car is using the battery, and then when I let go it is recuperating. But in D it's slightly recuperating and it just lets you go, lets you coast. If I put it to B, if I accelerate again, and then when I let go, you can see here it's recuperating more. So it's using the electric motor to recuperate, and when you're braking it's also using that energy to charge the battery. So recuperation and braking. There is an option, it says here motor charge battery for later, so you can press here and that will charge the battery with your petrol, but then your fuel consumption will be high. There is also a button for save battery for later, so I assume it's not gonna let you spend all the battery. Okay, now where to start? Now this car made such an impression on me and I love it. I loved the design when I saw it, and finally when I got it on test, I'm so amazed with this car. It's super posh, it's super nice inside, it drives so nice, it's so comfortable. The seats are super comfortable, they're nice for long travel trips. The interior quality is amazing. The cockpit is beautiful and gorgeous. Now I can change driving modes here. If I go to pure, this is like electric drive, this switches to blue. If I go to hybrid, it stays in this purple color. If I go to power, it's gonna go to red, but I don't want to turn on the petrol right now. So it's an amazing SUV. Now since you have both the petrol and the electric motor, there's plenty of power. The car speeds up very nice. Now you can drive fully electric up to 130 kilometers per hour. It just speeds up. But if I floor it, it will engage the petrol, and then when I let go, it starts coasting. It's recharging the battery, so petrol switches off. If you go to the pure driving, then it is only driving electric. So if I speed up, it speeds up electric. Nope, I thought it would, but it still decides it wants to kick in the petrol. Okay, it's a hybrid, so plug-in hybrid. We're gonna keep this acceleration for the highway. I just want to, be more efficient. Okay, you don't need to watch that. Again, we're gonna put navigation here. That is that. Now, very comfortable suspension despite big wheels. The automatic works great. You don't feel the transitions too much. The steering is nice and precise, and the car is nice and stable. Even if you go a bit faster, it doesn't lean too much. The back end doesn't stick out. It drives great. The overview in this car is nice and tall, and you can see very well in all of the mirrors. You have excellent resolution for 360 parking cameras. Now, the first thing when you get in this car that needs getting used to, but it's a matter of a few days, is the big bonnet. You can actually see the position lights or the daytime running lights on the top, and you can see when I use turn signals, which is also nice. So that's one thing you need to get used to, but when you get used to it, it's no issue there. So the car is really amazing. This is a plug-in hybrid, and for all of you who are maybe looking at it, if you don't intend to charge this car, don't buy it. Seriously, you're gonna be dragging an empty battery, and then you're defeating the purpose of this car if you're charging it with your petrol. I mean, that's for here and there, but this car is intended to be charged overnight. So if you have a garage, if you have a home, same as an EV, you should plug the car overnight when your tariff is cheaper and drive cheap. Then you're saving money, then this car makes sense. Sound system in the car, as I've briefly demonstrated, is amazing. You have also double laminated front windows. Windshield is now standard in most cars. It's double laminated windshield now, but this allows for better acoustics from infotainment system, for music system, but also for less noise coming in. But most of the noise that is coming in the cabin is from tires and from the surface you're driving on. But then again, this car is such a joy to drive. It's such a relaxing drive when you're driving electric, because there's no sound. But actually, I'm not sure why I used the turn signal here, never mind. But when you want to, you just floor it. You can hear the petrol, so you won't miss the petrol. But sometimes, when you're in traffic, when you're in rush hour, believe me, not hearing the engine just releases this calmness, and you're less stressful, you're less rushing somewhere. It's more relaxing. Less noise means less stress. Now, when you do want to enjoy the engine sound, which is technically a noise, but when you do want to enjoy pleasant sound, that might not be noise for you. If you're a petrol head, you have it as well in this car. Okay, it went back to the energy flow. So let me just see if, yeah, I can go now to the bottom. Okay, so our fuel consumption is 1.6. Now, if I go to trip 1, trip 1. Okay, trip 1, you can see here 8 liters. So this is a press car and people don't charge it. That was the research said the most problem, because a lot of companies bought this car because mandatory, because of the CO2, and they would get some sort of incentives perhaps, and they went for the plug-in hybrids, and turns out most of them weren't charging them. So it doesn't make you give incentives for those who don't use the electricity or the batteries. But that's not my point. My point is, if you will use it that way, you will have a high fuel consumption. So it's almost like getting a petrol, but then you're dragging an empty battery, which I've mentioned already. So if you charge, your fuel consumption will be either 0 or 1 to 2 liters tops, maybe 3. Okay, we're getting to the highway, and I'm going to get to the power. I can feel immediate change on the response of the throttle. Now pay attention to the headlights. They turn in the bends when I move the steering wheel. I'm gonna floor it here. So 260 horsepower all together. Petrol and electric motor. Wow, that is fast. Woo! Nice and fast. So if you love EVs but you're just not ready to switch to full EV, the plug-in hybrid will give you best of the both worlds when it comes to acceleration, because it aids the petrol, get instant torque, boosting it. Very nice. Okay, switching back to the hybrid. Let's speed up 100. So up to 130, 140, this is really nicely isolated. It's a good soundproof. But 150, there's a lot of wind noise. It's a big SUV. The mirrors are big, so I can hear now wind around the A-pillars, and asphalt is a bit rough here. Let me just engage the automatic long beam. Is on for a brief moment. Now let me engage the highway assistance. This is an excellent thing because it keeps you in the center. If I go to the side, it puts me back in the center, so it doesn't push you from one edge to the other like a ping pong. It just keeps you in the center. So the LED headlights are amazing. They work great. So our fuel consumption is 2 liters at the moment. Oh, dropping. But our battery is also dropping. We're kind of depleting it a little bit. You can change the distance here. But I'll disengage this now. It still warns you if you're getting close to the lane when it's off. I'm trying to remember other stuff that I wanted to mention perhaps. But this SUV really is a great deal. Now, one of the things I would wish it had was perhaps a satellite view, but everything else is here that you would want, and it just looks amazing. You can change themes here. You can change to day theme as well, or like a light theme. I've showed you that in the in-depth review. So yeah. So I can go back to D, so let it coast a little bit. I'm not using the brakes, and then just at the end here I just pull back, re-engage the brake mode, recuperate, more efficient. And once you get used to the B or the brake mode, when you get used to one pedal driving, you'll just learn that it's a better way to drive the car, because you're driving with one foot. Now, I saw that we depleted the battery very fast, so I'm expecting the petrol to kick in. But this is the better way, because you're also saving your brakes and prolonging their life. Now, for an EV, I'm a Tesla owner, so I use that a lot, but you still have to, brake sometimes just to clear off the rust, or excuse me, the surface rust from the brakes. Now, in this car, I mean, in plug-in hybrid, you will brake more often, so even if you do use this, you're gonna brake sometimes, and you shouldn't have any issues. But yeah, I think I've said it all. Now, the cargo space, I haven't mentioned in this video, is very generous. It's 466 liters, 1,213 liters. If you knock down the seats, these seats are very comfortable. The back space is very generous, and again, everything is so nice and posh. I love it. This car is very well equipped, and everything again is standard. All the safety features, everything is standard. It's such an amazing deal. I just wish, I know the Croatians will be skeptical about the plug-in hybrid, and they would prefer to have a pure petrol, so I'm really a bit sad that locally they didn't offer the the full petrol. Now we have auto hold, which is great. So let me just see now here. Yeah, I think I've actually maybe perhaps deleted the energy flow by accident somehow. So car status. So I will say here, charge. So the petrol will now charge the battery while we are driving. You also saw the cameras there. Okay, top speed on this car is 210 kilometers per hour, which we're not gonna test because it's not legal. And 0 to 100 should be 8 seconds, which is actually not bad for an SUV. We'll give it a try. I know you might be interested in that one. I won't measure time. I used to do that, but it's usually on the spot. Sometimes some cars are like less than a second difference, but depends maybe on the tires. The tires should be warm now. You can see that the batteries are actually already 1% more here, but I think we should have enough juice just to do a little launch control perhaps. Okay, let me just see. Okay, no traffic. Safety first, as always. Now, when you're in the B mode, the brake pedal is always a bit stiff, like it's half engaged. So I will actually go to drive and hold the brake, hold the acceleration all the way, and release. Whoa. Wow, nice kick. Another kick, 80, and whoa, 100. Brakes. Okay, the brakes are good, but I feel like the stopping distance, you know, I would like it to be a bit shorter, but it's good. I just had to press it all the way deep inside to really engage the brakes all the way. So the brakes, I haven't mentioned the brakes. The brakes are not too sensitive, but on the Geely's Coolray, they were, I would say they're almost sensitive, but not sensitive from the start. So they're like in the middle spot, like most of the cars. Now look at this, look at this. You can see I'm moving the steering wheel. The light beam is going left and right. This is because it has cornering main lights. Okay, full beam. Actually, let me see here. Okay, full beam, there you go. Now I'll take the iPhone camera out. iPhone camera, you can see the long beam is nice and bright. And if I start driving, once again, steering wheel moving here. You can see that, so you can see the angle. Now let me just speed up here. There's a bend to the left, and you're gonna see the lights move. See how it's lightening up the bend? Way better. We're driving now on petrol. You can hear it a little bit. So, of course, you can drive this as a petrol, you can drive in D, let the car coast and enjoy it as a normal car. But then when you feel like driving more efficient or saving money on gas, you can just switch to B, recuperate, charge your battery, and save some money. Because when you're just slowing down, why waste the energy instead of putting it in your battery? Okay, we will test the navigation here. Hold is engaged. Yes, that's that. Avenue Mall parking. Yes, please. Start guidance. Let's see how that looks. Start this route. There we go. Oh, it decided to turn on finally. So you can see there's a navigation right there. It's right here. You can see the 3D building of the shopping mall called Arena Center. It's right there. So if I zoom in, you can see the 3D buildings. There's Arena, it's like a sports arena in Zagreb as well, and you can see it here. Now over here, when you finally have the map and you go down, you can see you have a hide map, and then it still shows you like navigation options, and you can press to re-engage the map. I can barely hear the petrol, slight vibrations, which is normal on the steering wheel, and yeah, but you know, very good soundproofed. So again, for 50k, something I would expect. Now you can see here on the Coolray I could like turn this, but on the Lynk&Co I cannot. But excellent resolution of the cameras. You can see the 3D for parking. It helps you not to curb, to easier park in the right spot. Someone forgot to turn their lights on, which is dangerous driving at night with your lights off. There we go. Okay, you can see the navigation, beautiful views in the digital cockpit, so that is very nice, very colorful. But I prefer to have the speedo in the digital cockpit. That's just me. Of course, you can do whatever you want. And there's no speeding camera on this map, unfortunately, but you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that is nice. I just, wanted to show you how the embedded navigation looks like, since you are paying for it. It's included in the price. Now this car is always online, it's connected, so it's also included in the price. You get the app, you can remote start the car, cool it in the summer, heat it in the winter. Same as an EV, since it is halfway EV. Now I need to summon the review. Should you buy it? Should you consider it? Or shortlist it? Well, there's nothing to shortlist. It's a one trim. Yeah, I think you should just buy it. I mean, if you're looking at it, it's really an amazing deal. Try it out. I always say go for a test drive, see how it feels, and then if you like it, don't hesitate. This is an amazing SUV. Now, I was thinking about the subscription plan, and I'm sure they check if you are, if you can pay off the credit, or if you have a viable credit score. But for 500 euros, lease, it's not a bad deal if you need a car. Maybe you don't need it an entire year, but you can, rent it for, let's say, 3 months. And then you don't need it, you can just return it, because this can be like a second car if you have a smaller car, a city car, and then if sometimes you need a big SUV for family, you want to go to a road trip or a vacation to Croatia over the summer. Just throwing it out there, for example. Then you can just rent this, but here you have to buy it. But if you buy it, it's a really amazing SUV, and it really made strong impressions. The Chinese are very competitive now. There's going to be new tariffs on their cars. I'm not sure how is it going to affect this car. They did bought an inventory, I'm sure, and they prepared. So for the first batch, you can buy it for 50K. I don't know about later. We're gonna see what happens with the politics and what decision politicians will make for us. Yeah, it was really pleasure driving this car, and really enjoyable. I wish I could have it for a bit longer time. I actually had a Coolray, which is also very nice, but I love this more, honestly. I really do enjoy the electric experience a lot. I do drive a Tesla, but this is for all of you who don't want to just commit to fully electric cars, who don't want to have to rely on charging that takes half an hour on a supercharger. Just you just want to have the range, and you want to drive Although, to be fair, this doesn't make too much sense for long driving because you have a smaller fuel tank. So still, you should charge the battery before your trip, again, because dragging an empty battery is counterproductive for a plug-in hybrid. There's a nice charging station here. If you are ever in Croatia, you get into this, it's called Avenue Mall. They have the cinema, great shopping place. The garage is free for 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, recommendation. And that charging station is also recommendation as well. I might stop here. I'm gonna leave anyways, just to show you the reverse. Mirrors dip down, so parking cameras are excellent. You have the maneuvers for the both wheels. I mean, I wish I had this kind of a level of camera parking system on my Tesla, which I don't, but you know, this is great. I mean, applause to the Chinese engineers who made this car and designers, because I love it. It's freaking amazing. It's one of the better cars I've driven lately, and there are here games you can download. There are apps you can download. I went here when I've connected to the internet, because the car isn't connected to the internet, as you can see. I'm not sure, it wasn't, I guess, enabled on the car. It's not sold, that might be the reason. Now the car is charging still the battery. I forgot about that. Let me just see here. We're gonna wrap the video in a moment. Wait. Oh wait, no, car status. Yeah, okay, so we're at 6%, I think, or 11%. We're at 20%. So the other day I was driving, because I picked the car obviously with an empty battery the first time, and I was driving from Zagreb to Samobor, which is like 25 kilometers, and I've charged enough battery so I can return back with the mostly EV driving, besides the highway, but I can drive in the city on the electric, so saved some there. But I did eventually go and I've charged the car, so I've been driving for 2 days perhaps, a little of driving around the city on the battery, and my consumption was 0 because I fueled the tank and I haven't spent too much fuel. So again, purpose of this car is you know, charging it. I said it 3 times because it's really important for you to understand this, because that is quite important. And before we end the video, let me just see here, display. I haven't showed you the themes. There are themes here. I just decided to pick one. It does give you like a different speedo here. This one's really interesting, but I haven't turned it on. Just didn't pop my mind. And this one's like a classical one, although I do like the purple one, but the red one's really nice also as well. Kind of reminds me of the BMW style, but you can play with that, of course, when you get the car. That's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate your subscribe, because I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers. I think I'm missing like 700 subscribers. So I've been doing this for quite some time, and I would really appreciate if you share this video as well, if you like it, and if you leave a comment. If you have any questions, just type them below. I'll be happy to answer them. I might be busy sometimes, so I might not answer it immediately, but I will answer it in a day or two. Garage is in a power save mode, but still you can see the car a little bit. Once again, if I lock, you can see the lights. Actually, there's a light here perhaps. Okay, you can see a little bit better from this side how the car looks and the silhouettes a little bit less dark. And if I lock the car, there we go. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Stay safe. Bye.